I'm back again with another analysis, this time on Meta, as the news just has been announced today about that this company throws in the towel on in Instagram NFTs. And the key point is that the company has abandoned its plan to integrate NFTs into Instagram and Facebook. As you know, the company based itself around Web3 with their meta name change just to about 2 years ago. And they were actually had planned to going forward to moving forward to metaverse, Web3, and NFTs, but now it's the news that they have abandoned from this plan. So let's jump into the chart. And I was curious what is happening with this stock, and I'm taking a look at this stock in Nasdaq. So let's just go through it again. With price action method, and that I always start from a weekly chart to have a better understanding of the history, and then just moving forward to the current time uh, as I jump into the lower time frame. So let's zoom out a little bit. Just it's not that much of history for this company. You can see that it has been the majority from the beginning. Almost it was an uptrend to a very valuable price in 2021, but then suddenly, very sharply, it has been reversed. So if I want to take off, it might be so crazy, but just if you look at you can see that it has been reversed up to 78 percentage, which seems not to be corrective because it almost just came back to the um, close to the original, the lowest price that it had, the lowest value. And now also I can see that this is very sharp. And just zoom in a little bit. Um, yeah, we know that this bottom is really the historical point on this chart. But what is interesting to me that this sharp wave, it seems so powerful and also have a shape of an impulsive wave because I can completely see uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason that I'm naming this such a way that I can actually I look into the impulsive waves to recognize the waves, and I can see I can just draw a line, something like this, with this angle for the first wave. This is actually telling me, representing the first wave. If I just omit the prices from the view, this line can purely represent this first wave. The, another behavior that I'm seeing that is a more sharp and longer one here. And after that, I'm seeing another behavior, just a little bit of a lower angle, and maybe the lowest one, but longest one, uh, maybe according to the time perspective, not the value. And yeah, it seems to be the third behavior. So I can. That's the reason that I'm calling them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know that it is an impulsive, at least according to my personal point of view. And let's just utilize this Fibonacci retracement extension again to check how much this impulsive has been corrected, to 38 percentage almost. So I can grab this rectangle tool to just draw a longer rectangle if I can do it, something like this. And I can go to the past even more because it is really an important point here as well. But I guess it is enough just taking. by adding some arrows down here. We know that it has been reacted to this price several times. Also close to this point, maybe 2 arrows is needed, and yeah, here as well, here as well. And recently it has been also reached this point, which we are going to take a closer look later. So um, let's get rid of this extension. We know that, let's just call it out that it was uh, just 38 percentage of feeble level. Uh, so I guess it is quite low information. Just fetching these information, understanding major points on the chart, it is really important when we look at this weekly, and that could be enough for just taking away from this view. Let's jump into the daily view to have a better look. First of all, just zoom out a little bit. I could just to confirm that okay, this was the first wave, some sort of I don't know, expanded flat as the side wave structure. The third wave just started with a gap, very powerful, and then a zigzag force wave, and this long wave that also the minor waves can be counted as one, maybe this sharp, this as two and three, this kind of side wave structure here, and the fifth wave, this side wave structure as a fourth wave, and this fifth wave. So we can also count it as such. So the third wave is not shorter than the first wave, so it is still can be counted as uh, third wave. This is something that we should always take care when we are counting the waves. So I guess I'm happy with this one. Maybe you might argue about discounting, but I just want to confirm that I'm not missing anything, nothing unexpected here. So let's take a closer look to this reversal that we know that it has been reversed. Also, we saw in the weekly view reversed uh, from 78 percentage uh, of FIBO, so very, very long. So that's why the reason that I didn't wanted to talk about it that much, because that's reversed. We know that it has been 78 percentage, but it doesn't indicate by counting three, five wave an impulsive structure as it is going to be a five structure to 78 percentage. And that's a reason that I just want to also take away from that analysis that yeah, it might be a very much powerful wave than just some sort of corrective structure. So now we are expecting that this reverse just correct this last impulsive wave, this fifth wave, that this is the end of that. So this is going to be the corrective structure to the 30, just 38 percentage of these. We also see from the action of the price, we can see that it was so sharp. I can almost see five waves here as well. So I can just add minor waves, something like one, two, three, four, and maybe five. We don't know exactly where it is going to be because still it is continuing its momentum. But we know that this fifth wave, maybe it has not been past the third wave. There is a possibility to do that, but also there is a possibility that maybe it cannot um, continue its momentum in order to pass the uh, target point of the third wave, and that might be a possible truncation. So I can add these to this one. possible truncation. So these truncated waves are the waves that they could not, they have a typo. Uh, so we know, didn't fix it in the end. Yeah, okay. Um, we know that these kind of truncated waves, they might not actually pass the previous wave, and that might be the possible one. But anyhow, we are going to have, according to that, we're going to have a possible double top as well. We are seeing this corrective structure to the feeble level. Also, if I bring up the MACD, I can see some sort of divergence. I know that this wave has not been already passed the previous wave, but you know the closed value, the closed price of the final candle was it is above the final close of this one. So we can say that it has been moved up. Even if it's continue its momentum, I don't think that this line really comes really fast in order to cover this huge gap. So I can for sure tell that this is some sort of divergence. So with all in place, I would just want to say that we might be, that's only a possibility. We might be at the end of this uh, minor impulsive wave. We are seeing a lot of indications reaching closing to the resistance level again, and also the feeble level. We have the possible double top, also divergence. We're seeing uh, impulsive structure that seems to be completed very soon. So that's I think something that we can take away uh, from this daily chart. But I would like to introduce two candle pattern here. As you can see here, this is an engulfing pattern that this bullish last candle on the weekly, it has been covered from bottom and also top of the previous one. And this is usually indicating a reversal when they are happening on the bottom of the chart. So this is not the indication. Yeah, it is an indication of uptrend, but it is more a reversal pattern. So I cannot really count on this because it has not been appear somewhere on a support zone. This is completely vice versa on a resistance zone, and also not going to create is going to be a continuation if we want to look at its shape, but this is not a continuational pattern. This is a reversal pattern. When the price comes from the top and create this shape on some sort of a support zone, then it can might be a reversal. So this candlestick, it is just something that I'm interested in. But we have another one here, just yeah, this is the today's candle. It just started, but this one, it's a shape of a rising window or gap. This is when the second candle, this green one, this green large candle, the low of it just be above the previous candle, the high of the previous candle. And it is going to create a window or gap in between. Let me get rid of this zone so you have a better view of that. Also, let's get rid of that MACD. So you can see that there is a huge gap here, and this is called a rising window pattern in candlestick. And when that happens, this gap, it is going to be actually playing a role of some sort of resistance, sorry, some sort of support. So in this case, we might actually count this gap as a support. So price should not be interested to just come to the just actually pass this zone very easily. To have a better view, let me just recognize that pattern on a daily chart, but let's just jump into the hourly. And as I said, this is the last impulsive wave. It doesn't seems to be finished. I just want to mention that further because I'm just getting closer to my conclusions. I always come up with three type of conclusions: long term, mid term, and short term. So the short term might be the some sort of corrective structure to this gap as we found as the candlestick, and maybe to complete this fifth wave. That might be the possibility in our short term. But the long in the midterm, if I go back to the daily view, as I said, this might be the possibility because of all the things that we actually found. Possible truncation, um, um, also the structure of the fifth wave, the support zone that I just erased. We know that we had a very important, sorry, resistance zone that I just removed from here. It is reaching this level as well. So the midterm, I'm expecting that regardless if we are going to have these kind of reactions, there is going to be a breakout on this straight line, uh, this hourly. It can be seen better in the hourly, something like this. It has been maybe even I can actually write something like that. I think I like it in this way. So I can add several arrows here to the chart um, that it has been reacted. Uh, Also some others here or here or here. Anyhow, we can see that how many times price has been reacted to this straight line, and now maybe a little bit of a reversal as a short term as we discussed. This structure again, and this might playing a role of support and a final try of this momentum to the top. But in the end, if that happens or not, I'm going to have an expectations of a reversal down here as the breakout of this structure as the midterm because I'm not seeing much of a firepower to this uptrend. And I guess reaching out this important resistance zone that we just removed, it is going to be create that reversal for us. What about the long term? Let me just go back to the daily view. We know, or maybe even weekly view. Let's just get rid of these things. We cannot utilize these shapes in a uh, higher time frame. So let's just jump into the weekly view. So as a long term, we talked about the midterm, our expectation that some sort of reversal. This reversal, we could show it in on the daily chart, but it might be to this level as a very important support zone. Let me just zoom in a little bit to have a better view. Or even it might be just a more reversal. Let's also get rid of these things. So as not the last one, I really want to discuss about this. So this reversal is going to be, we already seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, an impulsive structure. So it is going to be some sort of ABC or anything like that. As a corrective structure, it might be a side wave structure. But after that, mm, we can say because this is a very sharp as well. This correction is very sharp. I don't think that it is going to be finished, but with just five wave structure to 38 percentage. So one of the scenarios is that it is going to actually break this support zone. And let me just bring it back because I talked about it several times and I said that I'll remove this. This is the zone. If I can move it a little bit. So maybe it is going to break this out and uh, create another momentum to the top to complete this ABC form. And we also don't know how much this is going to be this reversal as the ABC. Or another scenario is that okay, after this five wave, this impulsive, we might have some sort of range. It really depends to the future because it's a long term. We should come back to this weekly chart maybe 1 year ago, or 1 year later to check it out. But it might be a possibility that it continues its momentum, also break this support zone and created some sort of a side wave structure for these huge wave. So the long term is really could be in any way, but it can be interpreted in both ways. The most important thing that we need to take away is that we might have as the short term some sort of uh, finalization of the um, continuation of this momentum to the top with just coming back and going up. But the midterm, we are expecting that this just going down, maybe fulfill this gap, and then break this structure, this five wave structure, in order to correct itself, and then after that it might move either way, either top to create a sharp correction or to the bottom to create a sideways correction. And the top, it is cannot be only considered as a correction because it might be a new impulsive wave as well, which can be the first, second, and this is going to be the third wave, continued followed by two other waves as 4 and 5 to create another momentum impulsive wave. But anyhow, it doesn't matter if it is going to be A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is a possibility after this midterm conclusion to have this up continuation of the uptrend, as well as the second scenario, the downtrend. So I hope you like this analysis as well. There were a lot of points that we could learn about. We had candlestick patterns, we had um, support and resistance as always, waves, and dynamic support and resistance like Fibonacci levels. So I hope that it was helpful to you. You can see my previous streams in my YouTube channel. You can find a link and in the description or somewhere in my channel. Also, I have a Discord server. If you have any question regarding this analysis, you can share them there and I will answer them as soon as I get a chance. Also, if you are looking uh, this as a video, recorded video, please put some um, comments as feedback, then I will know how you're thinking about this content. Otherwise, until next analysis, thank you for watching me and have a nice day.